Hi, I'm Kathy with the Delafield Quilt Company, and today's little quilt project that I want to share with you is this little mini quilt. I'm also going to use this as a little mug rug. This is a great quick project if you're looking to test your skills at making half square triangles. I show a really quick way of how to do this on triangle paper, but you really could use any of your favorite methods for creating half square triangles. So I hope that you like the video. We are going to make this mini quilt super fast with the help of using triangles on a roll. And I'm using the roll that is for 1-inch finished blocks. If you don't have a roll of these, it is totally fine. You can do this with whatever method you like for making half square triangles. I like to recommend one that is called the Magic 8, and I do have a video that I will link in the show notes if you want to use that to make this little mini quilt. So this mini quilt is going to be 8 inches by 6 inches of a finished size. And the fabric that we're going to need is not much. We just need a 6 by 9 inch rectangle of red, a 6 by 9 inch rectangle of the pink, and 2 6 by 9 inch rectangles of the cream or the ivory. You also need about 38 inches of a 2-inch strip for your binding and about 10 inches by 8 inches for your backing. So the triangles on a roll will tell you how wide your fabric needs to be. I cut mine a little bit wider than this just because I'd like to have a little bit extra to work with. For this one, the 1 inch says 7 3/4 inch. I actually have a 9-inch wide fabric, so mine will be just plenty big enough for this. And for this mug rug, I need 24 half square triangles of the reds and the creams, and then 24 half-inch triangles of the pinks and the creams. So each one of these rows here is going to give me 8 half square triangles. So I just need to make sure that I have 24 worth of these for my first set. I'm going to roll this out a little bit. So I have 24 here, and then I'm going to cut right on this line, just using my straight edge here. So this will be 24. And then I'm going to go ahead, since I have this out, I'm going to cut the next set of 24. Again, I'm just putting my ruler on the line, and then I'm just going to cut it. Okay, I'm just going to set this one aside. So you are going to need some pins for this, and it's best if they're the flathead type of pins. All right, I'm going to take my cream and my red rectangle here, and I'm just going to place them right sides together. And then I'm going to place this first template on here. And I'm just going to pin this in a spot that's not going to get in the way of the sewing line. And the sewing line on these is going to be the dash lines. Okay, so I've got this pinned up in places that I'm not going to be stitching over. And now I just want to show you a little bit about this template. So when I sew this, I'm going to start here on this side, and I'm just going to follow these arrows on this dash line. And then I'm going to lift up my needle and then go to this side, lift up my needle, and then do the same. And eventually, I'm just going to make my way all the way around, kind of like you're following a maze. And just make sure that you're getting all these lines stitched on. And when you're sewing this, you want to make sure you use a really short stitch length. I'll probably use about a 1.8 on this. That makes ripping this paper off a lot easier when you're done. Okay, again, you want to make sure that your stitch length is really short. And then I am just going to start over here on this dash line, and you want to make sure that you're sewing right on that line. Okay, so I've got all of my lines sewn on, and I just stayed as best as I could on that dash line. And now we just need to cut these apart, and we're going to cut them on the solid lines here. I do like to start on the outside perimeter first, and it is helpful if you make sure that you're lined up on multiple points of your ruler. And then I'm just going to use my rotary cutter, and I'm cutting around the perimeter. Again, using my ruler to line up on those lines. I'm just going to keep going around until I have all the perimeter cut. Okay, now I've got the perimeter cut. I'm going to cut the interior ones, and I'm just going to go with the longest cuts. I'm not sure if it's more efficient, but you might find a better way to do that. All right, I've got all my little half square triangles cut. And now I just need to pull off the paper. So once you have all the paper cut off, then we're going to press this. And I'm going to press this so the seam is going towards the dark. Okay, once you all have that first set done, then I'm going to go ahead and start the second set. So again, I'm going to take my cream and pink this time, lay them right sides together, get that template on there, pin it in a few places, and then I'm going to go sew it like I did before, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I've got all of my little buddies all pressed up, and these should be 1.5 inch unfinished, and then when I sew them, they're going to be 1 inch finished. So let's lay this out. I'm going to start in the center with the center diamond, and I'm just going to build it out from there. Okay, now that I've got this all laid out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to sew all of my squares together and then the rolls together. And this is what it looks like with all the little blocks sewn together. So now I'm just going to quilt this little guy, and then I can use him as a new mug rug. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and visit us at delafieldquiltco.com. Have a great day.